My fiancé's ex-girlfriend showed up at our engagement party claiming she's still legally married to him and handed me divorce papers with his signature from last week. He went pale and tried to run. I chased him into the parking lot, and what he told me made everything so much worse. I, 27F, am writing this from a police station waiting room at 2 a.m., and I honestly don't know if I'm the victim or an accessory to whatever the hell just happened tonight. My engagement party was 7 hours ago. Now my fiancé is in an interrogation room, his ex-girlfriend is in the hospital, and I'm trying to figure out how my entire life imploded in the span of 30 minutes. Let me start from the beginning because this is insane. I met Tyler, 29M, 8 months ago at a coffee shop. Classic meet cute. We both reached for the last blueberry muffin, laughed about it. He insisted I take it. We got to talking. He was charming, funny, had a great job in finance. We exchanged numbers and started dating immediately. It moved fast. Really fast. He said he'd never felt this way about anyone, that he knew I was the one. 6 weeks in, he told me he loved me. 3 months in, we moved in together. 5 months in, he proposed. I said yes immediately. My friends said I was rushing, but I was in love. Tyler treated me like a princess. Expensive dinners, surprise weekend trips, constant affection. He said he'd dated someone seriously before me, but they'd broken up a year ago, and he was completely over it. She'd moved to another state, he said. They had no contact. Clean break. Tonight was our engagement party. My parents rented out a restaurant, invited about 60 people, my family, friends, Tyler's colleagues. His parents are dead, he said, and he doesn't have siblings or much family. Everything was perfect. I was wearing a new dress, showing off my ring, feeling like the luckiest woman alive. We were about an hour into the party when the door opened and a woman walked in. She was around my age, blonde, pretty, and she looked furious. She walked straight toward Tyler, who was talking to my dad by the bar. "Tyler," she said loudly. The nearby conversation stopped. People turned to look. Tyler's face went white. Like actually white. All the color drained out. "Kayla," he said. "What are you doing here?" "What am I doing here?" Her voice was getting louder. "What are you doing? You're engaged? You're having an engagement party?" I walked over quickly. "Hi, I'm Emma, Tyler's fiancé. Is there a problem?" She laughed. It wasn't a nice laugh. "Fiancé? That's interesting considering he's still married to me." The conversations around us completely stopped now. Everyone was staring. "That's not funny," I said. "Tyler's not married." "Really? Then what's this?" She pulled papers out of her purse and thrust them at me. "Divorce filing. Submitted to the county clerk last Tuesday. See the signature? That's your fiancé's signature. From 6 days ago." I looked at the papers. Official court documents. Petition for divorce. Tyler Morrison and Kayla Morrison. Filed 6 days ago. "This is fake," I said, but my hands were shaking. "This has to be fake." "Call the courthouse," she said. "Case number's right there. It's real. We're still married. We've been married for 4 years." I turned to Tyler. "Tell her this isn't real." Tyler was backing away slowly. "I can explain." "Explain what?" Kayla was nearly shouting now. "Explain why you filed for divorce last week without telling me? Explain why you're engaged to someone else while we're still married? Explain why you cleaned out our joint account yesterday." "You cleaned out a joint account?" I asked. Tyler held up his hands. "Everyone just calm down." "Don't tell me to calm down," Kayla said. "You disappeared 3 weeks ago. You stopped coming home, stopped answering calls, emptied our bank account, and filed for divorce without even telling me. And now I find out you're engaged? How long has this been going on?" 3 weeks. I repeated. "Tyler, you've been living with me for 3 months." Kayla's head snapped toward me. 3 months? He's been living with you for 3 months. We moved in together in February. He was living with me in February, Kayla said. We share an apartment in Riverside. He came home every night until 3 weeks ago. My brain couldn't process this. That's not possible. He's been with me every night. Not every night, Kayla said. Let me guess. He travels for work? A lot. I felt sick. Yes. About twice a week. Overnight trips. Those weren't work trips. Those were nights he was at our apartment. With me. His wife. The room was completely silent now. Everyone staring. My mom had her hand over her mouth. My dad looked like he was about to commit murder. I turned to Tyler. Is this true? He was still backing toward the door. Emma, I love you. Is it true? It's complicated. Did you file for divorce last week? He didn't answer. Are you still married to her? Technically, yes, but... I threw my drink in his face. I'm not proud of it, but I did it. Then Kayla did the same thing. Tyler was dripping with 2 different cocktails, sputtering, and then he just ran. He bolted for the door. I took off my heels and chased him. Kayla was right behind me. We ran into the parking lot like maniacs, me in my engagement dress, her in jeans, both of us screaming at him. He got to his car. I got there first and stood in front of it. You're not leaving until you explain. Move, Emma. No. What the hell is going on? Kayla caught up, breathing hard. Start talking, Tyler. Now. He looked between us, trapped. Then he started talking fast. Okay, yes, Kayla and I are still married. But we've been having problems for over a year. We were basically separated, just hadn't made it official. Then I met Emma, and I fell in love for real, and I realized I needed to end things with Kayla. So, I filed for divorce last week. I was going to tell you. You filed without telling me. Kayla yelled. You just disappeared. And you proposed to me 5 months ago, I said. 5 months ago you were still living with your wife. I was going to fix it. I just needed time. Time for what? To figure out which one of us you actually wanted. No. I wanted you, Emma. That's why I filed for divorce. You filed for divorce after you proposed to someone else. Kayla said. That's fraud. That's bigamy. We're not married yet. Tyler said desperately. Emma and I aren't married. I didn't commit bigamy. But you were planning to. I said. What were you going to do? Just get divorced really fast and hope I didn't notice? The divorce takes 6 months minimum. Kayla said. Were you planning to commit actual bigamy? Tyler didn't answer. He tried to get in his car. I grabbed his arm. Where's the money? Kayla demanded. You emptied our account. $23,000. Where is it? I needed it. For what? For the wedding. Emma's ring. The apartment deposit. I had expenses. You used our money to finance your relationship with her? Kayla looked at me. Did you know about this? No. I had no idea he was married. He said his ex lived in another state. Ideal live in another state now. I moved to Oregon 2 months ago for work. That's why Tyler had more freedom too, she stopped. Oh my God. You waited until I moved away to do this. Tyler was silent. You waited until I was across the country, so you could just replace me, Kayla said. You were never going to tell me. You were just going to divorce me remotely and pretend I never existed. That's not. And let me guess, I interrupted. You told her your parents were dead too? That you don't have family? My parents are dead, he said. But you have a sister. Kayla said. You talk to Madison every week. You have a sister? I asked. Tyler, you told me you were alone in the world. You said that's why you wanted to build a family with me so badly. I didn't want you to ask questions about my past. My dad had come outside by this point, along with several guests. He walked up to Tyler and punched him. Just straight up punched him in the face. Tyler went down. Dad, I yelled. He deserved it, my dad said calmly. Tyler was on the ground, holding his nose. You broke my nose. Good, Kayla said. Then things got really weird. Tyler started crying. Not just tearing up, full-on sobbing. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. How did you think this would end? I asked. I don't know. I fell in love with you, Emma, and I didn't know how to get out of my marriage without losing you, so I just kept both going. And then it got out of control, and then I filed for divorce, but Kayla found out about the party somehow, and I found out because your sister told me. Kayla said. Madison posted about it on Facebook. Her brother's engagement party. I called her confused because I'm your wife, and she said, "What are you talking about? Tyler and Kayla got divorced," and I said, "No, we didn't," and she sent me the address. Tyler put his head in his hands. Madison wasn't supposed to post about it. "This is unbelievable," I said. "You've been lying to everyone. Me, Kayla, your sister, our families." "I know. Why?" Kayla asked. "Why would you do this?" He looked up at us both, face wet with tears and blood from his nose. "Because I'm a coward. I didn't want to deal with a divorce. I didn't want to have the hard conversations. I thought if I just started fresh with Emma, I could eventually sort things out with Kayla from a distance, and no one would have to know. I thought I could manage both until the divorce went through, and then I'd just be with Emma, and it would be fine." "Manage both," I repeated. "We were living together." "I know. It was stupid. I wasn't thinking clearly. How are you affording 2 households?" Kayla asked. Tyler hesitated. "I took out loans, credit cards, and I used our savings." "My savings," Kayla said. "That was money I'd been saving for years. You stole it. I was going to pay you back." "With what money? You're in debt." This was getting more insane by the second. "How much debt?" I asked. "About 60,000, he mumbled. "What?" "I've been paying for 2 households for months. Your rent, Emma, and the mortgage on my house with Kayla. 2 sets of bills, 2 sets of expenses, your ring, the engagement party, the wedding deposits." It added up. "The wedding deposits," I repeated slowly. "Tyler, my parents paid for the venue and the catering. But I paid for everything else. The photographer, the DJ, the flowers, your dress." "You haven't paid for my dress yet. I'm going next week with my mom." He looked confused. "But I gave you the money. You gave me $1,000 toward it. My mom's covering the rest." "Oh." He wiped his face. I thought it was more expensive." "Where did the money go?" Kayla demanded. "If you didn't pay for what you said you paid for, where did it go?" Tyler was quiet. "Tyler," Kayla said dangerously, "where did the money go?" "I've been gambling," he said quietly. "Online poker. I thought I could make back what I'd spent, and I did for a while, but then I lost it all, and I kept thinking I could win it back, and it just got worse." I sat down on the parking lot curb. This was too much. "You have a gambling problem." "I've been stressed. The lying, the debt, trying to keep both lives separate. I needed an outlet." "So you gambled away your wife's savings and went into massive debt, financing a fake life with me?" I said. "It wasn't a fake life. I love you. You don't love me. You don't even know me. We've been together 8 months, and everything you told me was a lie." "Not everything." "Were you ever going to tell me?" I asked. "Were you going to show up to our wedding still legally married to Kayla?" He didn't answer. Kayla sat down next to me on the curb. We looked at each other. Then we both started laughing. Hysterical, disbelieving laughter. "This is insane," she said. "Completely insane," I agreed. "I flew all the way from Oregon for this." "I'm glad you did." We sat there laughing while Tyler bled from his nose and cried. My dad stood over him like a bouncer. Other party guests were filming everything on their phones. It was a disaster. Then Kayla stopped laughing. "Wait. You said he's 60,000 in debt." "That's what he said. All in his name or joint accounts." Tyler went pale again. Mostly joint. Mostly joint." Kayla stood up. "You put us in joint debt." "I thought I could fix it before you noticed." She tried to kick him, but my dad stopped her. "Not worth the assault charge. He ruined my credit. He stole my money. He committed fraud. We should call the police," my mom said. She'd come outside too. "He stole from you. That's a crime." "And the bigamy thing," someone else added. "Attempted bigamy? Is that a thing?" "It's definitely fraud," my dad said. "Defrauding Emma about his marital status. Defrauding Kayla about the divorce. Financial fraud with the joint accounts." Tyler tried to stand up. "You don't have to involve the police." "Sit down," my dad said. Tyler sat. My mom was already on the phone with 911. Kayla was pacing, muttering about credit scores and stolen savings. I was still sitting on the curb in my engagement dress, trying to process everything. The police arrived 15 minutes later. 2 officers took statements from everyone. Tyler tried to explain, but everything he said just made it worse. They ended up arresting him for fraud and theft. Kayla and I gave statements. Then Kayla asked if she could press charges for identity theft too, since Tyler had opened credit cards in both their names without her knowledge. The officer said yes, that could be added. Tyler was crying again as they put him in the police car. "Emma, I love you. This is all a misunderstanding." "It's really not," I said. They took him away. The officers asked if Kayla and I wanted to come to the station to file additional paperwork. We said yes. That's where I am now. Kayla's filling out forms about the financial fraud. I'm waiting to give another statement. It's 2 a.m. My engagement party was supposed to end an hour ago with me and Tyler leaving for our hotel, ready to start planning our wedding. Instead, Tyler's in jail. I'm at a police station with his wife, and I'm realizing I never knew him at all. Kayla and I have been talking while we wait, comparing notes, figuring out the timeline of his lies. It turns out, Tyler told her he was going on work trips when he was with me. Tyler told me he was going on work trips when he was with her. He was living with her in Riverside and with me in the city. About an hour apart, he told her I was a work colleague. When she found a photo of us on his phone, he told me she was an ex who lived across the country. He proposed to me 2 months before he filed for divorce. He was planning to marry me before the divorce was finalized. Been lying to his sister about the divorce, telling her it was final months ago. He stole $23,000 from Kayla's savings. He racked up $60,000 in debt trying to maintain both lives. He has a gambling problem neither of us knew about. How did we both fall for this? Kayla asked. He's a good liar, I said. Like a really, really good liar. Too good. This is sociopath-level lying. We looked at each other. Then she asked, "Do you think there are others?" That hadn't occurred to me. You think he's done this before? I mean, he managed 2 whole relationships simultaneously for months. That takes practice. My stomach dropped. We should check. How do we check? Social media? Google? We started searching. Tyler Morrison finance. Tyler Morrison marriage. Tyler Morrison fraud. And there it was. An article from 3 years ago. Local man arrested for marriage fraud scheme. We read it together, our mouths hanging open. Tyler Morrison, then 26, was arrested for attempting to marry 2 women simultaneously. He'd gotten engaged to 2 women in different cities, planned weddings for the same month, and was caught when one of the fiancés happened to meet the other at a bridal shop. Charges were dropped when both women declined to press charges, and he agreed to pay restitution. He's done this before, Kayla whispered. He's done this before, I repeated. An officer walked by. Everything okay? No, we both said simultaneously. We need to add something to our statements. We showed him the article. His eyebrows went up. I'll get the detective. Turns out, Tyler has a history. The detective pulled records. 3 years ago, the fraud charges. 5 years ago, arrested for writing bad checks. 7 years ago, a restraining order from another ex-girlfriend who claimed he'd stolen from her. Your fiancé is a con artist, the detective told me. Ex-fiancé, I corrected. Right. Ex-fiancé. He's got a pattern. Find a woman, move fast, get access to money, maintain the relationship as long as it's profitable, move on to the next when it gets complicated. But he was married to me for 4 years, Kayla said. That's not moving on quickly. You said you have a good job, right? Make decent money. Yeah, I'm a software engineer. And you said he emptied your joint account. I'm betting he's been slowly draining your finances the whole marriage. Kayla went pale. Oh my God. The investment account. I had $50,000 in an investment account. He said we should combine our finances, move it to a joint account where we'd get better returns. I moved it 2 years ago. Where is it now? I don't know. He manages the investments. I trusted him. The detective looked sympathetic. I'd check on that first thing Monday morning. We're filing a full report. All the fraud, theft, identity theft, credit card fraud, everything. The district attorney will decide about charges for the attempted bigamy. Kayla's flying back to Oregon tomorrow, but we exchange numbers. We're going to help each other through the legal stuff. My engagement is obviously off. I moved all my stuff out of Tyler's apartment tomorrow morning. My dad and brother are helping. Changing all my passwords, removing Tyler from everything, blocking him on everything. My mom canceled all the wedding vendors. We'll lose the deposits, but that's better than going through with it. I'm exhausted, heartbroken, humiliated. The engagement party videos are already on social media. People filmed the whole confrontation. I'm going to be the girl whose fiancé was arrested at their engagement party. But I'm also grateful. Grateful Kayla showed up when she did. Grateful we found out before I actually married him. Grateful his whole scheme fell apart. 8 months ago, I thought I met my soulmate. Turns out I met a con artist. I don't know how I didn't see it. Looking back, maybe there were signs. How fast he moved, how he avoided talking about his past, how he always paid cash for things, how he was secretive about his phone. But I was in love. I trusted him. Never again. Update, 72 hours later. Tyler's in jail on $50,000 bail that he can't make. His lawyer contacted me asking if I'd be willing to help with bail. I laughed and hung up. Kayla checked her investment account. Empty. He'd withdrawn everything over the past 6 months. She's filing additional charges. His sister Madison reached out to apologize. She had no idea about any of this. Tyler told her he and Kayla divorced amicably months ago and asked her not to mention it to Kayla if she ever spoke to her. She thought she was respecting their privacy. My mom is insisting I go to therapy.
She's probably right.
The story made local news. Engagement party ends in arrest. Groom's wife crashes party. It's humiliating but also validating. I'm not crazy. This really happened. Kayla and I talk every day now. We've formed a weird friendship bonded by shared trauma and Tyler's lies. I went to my doctor and got tested for everything. Won't have results for a week, but I needed peace of mind. I'm staying with my parents for now.
Can't face my apartment yet.
Friends have been supportive. Some are shocked. Others said they knew something was off about him, but couldn't put their finger on it. Helpful in hindsight, guys. The DA called. They're charging Tyler with multiple counts of fraud, theft, and identity theft. Possible jail time of 3 to 5 years. His lawyer keeps trying to make deals. Tyler will pay everything back if we drop charges. Tyler will go to therapy. Tyler is very sorry. We're not dropping charges. I threw away my engagement ring. Kayla suggested I sell it, but I couldn't stand looking at it. Into the trash it went. My dad says this is the best possible outcome. Finding out before the wedding. He's right, but it still hurts. I'm angry. So angry. Not just at Tyler, but at myself for being so trusting. For not asking more questions. For moving so fast. But mostly I'm just tired.
Tired of thinking about it.
Tired of telling the story. Tired of being that girl. So, I'm trying to move forward. One day at a time. Therapy starts next week. I'm looking for a new apartment. Trying to rebuild my life without the lies. At least I've got Kayla. We're planning to meet up next month when she's back in town for court dates. 2 women conned by the same man, somehow becoming friends. If you told me a week ago that my engagement party would end with my fiancé in jail and me becoming friends with his wife, I'd have laughed. But here we are. Final update. Tyler took a plea deal. 5 years probation, restitution to both Kayla and me, mandatory therapy, and he's banned from opening any new lines of credit. He avoids jail time, but his life is pretty much ruined. The restitution won't cover everything we lost, but it's something. Kayla's divorce is final. She's moved on, started dating someone new, someone she properly vetted this time. I'm doing better. Therapy helps. I'm in my own apartment, back to work, slowly rebuilding my social life. I'm not dating. Not ready yet. Maybe someday. But I'm okay. Really, genuinely okay. I learned a hard lesson about trust, red flags, and moving too fast. But I survived. And I'm stronger for it. And hey, At least I've got a hell of a story for future dinner parties.